Oh, well, moving on. ABC Amba TV News gathered that the Hong Kong-based Capo Daniel, after feeding fat on money with Joe Ayaba and their La République du Cameroun proxy, ADF, extended his resignation letter to the leader of their controversial group. In a video shared on Easter Sunday, the now former spokesperson and deputy defense chiefs of the so-called armed wing said he resigned due to divergence with the organization. In his words, he says, I think it makes it impossible for me to continue serving our liberation movement in those capacities. I think Dr. Che I thank Dr. Cho Ayaba for his trust during my time in the organization and will continue working for our liberation movement selflessly.
Well, Mr. Ngong Daniel had been a frequent user of the group's Facebook page with his podcast on the state of their struggle. ABC Amba TV News was made to understand that the divergence concerns differences regarding the internal functioning of the ADF kidnapping and ransom-taking organization. It's confidential, but those are differences that have made it difficult for quote, me to carry out my functions, Capo Daniel says. Asked if he is tired of the war and wants some time to rest, he said in a YouTube video, the subject of these issues do not serve any public interest, but all the cycles of AGOVC are very much aware of these issues. I want to thank Dr. Cho Ayaba for the trust he had in me for allowing me to serve.
Oh, well, on Saturday, April 8, 2023, the leader of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Dr. Cho Ayaba, acknowledged the resignation letter of his fellow comrade in crime, Capo Daniel, wishing him well in his future endeavors. He goes on to say, myself, the Ambazonian Governing Council, that's the AGOVC, Ambazonian Defense Forces, and the Ambazonian people wish to thank Comrade Capo Daniel for his great services and contribution to the organization. He says our people and our liberation are grateful. He goes on to say that Capo Daniel stood for Ambazonia, defended Ambazonia, and took a firm stand against blackmailers, scavengers, disruptors, and the Cameroon, the butchers of our people. He goes on to say we received and accepted his letter of resignation. He served the organization and our people well when very few people could speak for Ambazonia. We wish him luck in his new activism endeavors. We have reached a critical point of divergence and I am obliged to accept his resignation. Quite funny, you would say.
But on the other hand, Capo Daniel said he will go solo by creating a pressure group to keep his activism alive. Since the onset of the crisis that developed into an armed conflict and a full-fledged war of independence, the so-called Ambazonian Governing Council, also popularly known as AGOVC, Ambazonia Defense Force of Cho Ayaba operating like a proxy to La République du Cameroun's BIR, and some members of the colonial government championed kidnappings, ransom-taking, setting confusion within the ranks of the genuine Ambazonian restoration fighters, and killing many of its valiant fighters, such as General Chacha, General Insubu, whom we treated recently, Shoama, Ayeke, Commando, etc. As a matter of fact, this structure has been and remains an obstacle in the way of Ambazonian liberation struggle. The earlier they start disintegrating, as Capo Daniel has started, the better for the liberation struggle. By their fruits, they have all been exposed.